Government welcomes multi-billion-dollar private investment.
The government has created an environment where entrepreneurs can take calculated risks.
Implement strategic crime-fighting measure.
A state of public emergency has been declared in the St. Catherine North Police Division.
Continues its public sensitization of the National Identification System and meets with new members of the Integrity Commission. You're watching Jamaica House Weekly. I'm Lorraine Mendez. As the government continues to cripple the activities of criminal forces, Prime Minister Andrew Holness on Sunday declared a state of emergency in the St. Catherine North Police Division. The area has recorded 48 murders since the start of the year, due mainly to gang activity.
Crime and violence, in particular murders, have been escalating in this police division. These enhanced security measures through the Emergency Powers Act will last initially for 14 days.
Under the enhanced security measures, the security forces will have extraordinary powers and some rights of citizens will be suspended.
The security forces are expected and have been directed to treat citizens with respect and to protect the dignity and safety of all Jamaicans. The security forces will have the powers to search, curtail operating hours of businesses, access to places, and to detain persons without a warrant.
Meanwhile, the Prime Minister has expressed confidence in Major General Anthony Anderson's ability to lead the Jamaica Constabulary Force. The former head of the JDF and National Security Advisor's appointment as Commissioner of Police takes effect today, March 19.
I'm certain that he will be respectful of the structure, the organization, and that he will build a strong alliance with the policemen, and that he will assist in the transformation of the organization.
Government's success in creating a business-friendly environment is exemplified by the latest private sector investment in the form of a $3 billion state-of-the-art grains mill. Prime Minister Andrew Holness made the assertion at the recent opening of the separate group's facility in Kingston.
The government has created an environment where entrepreneurs can take calculated risks. And we want to see more entrepreneurs, more businesses, whether it is in manufacturing, whether it is in agriculture. We want to see more risk-taking.
Mr. Holness says the investment is contributing to the country's economic growth and employment plans, with 300 persons getting jobs. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister is urging Jamaican manufacturers to not only supply local demand, but also seek out regional and international markets. He says his administration's mission is to develop local productive capacity to replace imports.
And this is a positive step in this regard.
The Office of the Prime Minister continues to sensitize the public on the implementation of the National Identification System, NIDS. Chief Technical Director for the Planning, Monitoring and Evaluation Division, Jacqueline Lynch-Stewart, says the National ID will reduce the hassle of getting photographs certified by justices of the peace or other authorized personnel when conducting business.
There are some of us in our society who have a difficulty finding JPs, who don't know JPs. I will be able to open a bank account with my One ID, because the One ID is verifiable and secure.
Mrs. Lynch-Stewart says other benefits of the NIDS include greater social inclusion and protection against identity theft. Mrs. Lynch-Stewart was addressing persons at the University of the West Indies on Thursday. Prime Minister Andrew Holness last week thanked Ambassador Nigel Clark for his service to Jamaica. Having been elected as Member of Parliament for North West St. Andrew, Ambassador Clark has given up all positions he held on government boards. These include chairmanship of the National Housing Trust and Port Authority of Jamaica boards, as well as the deputy chairman of the Economic Growth Council. In a statement, the Prime Minister said Ambassador Clark was a guiding force behind the work of the EGC, including wide-ranging policy reform recommendations, many of which have since been adopted by the government. Dr. Clark continues to serve as an advisor to the Prime Minister and Ambassador of Economic Affairs, working out of the Office of the Prime Minister. And finally, Prime Minister Holness met with members of the Integrity Commission last week. The commissioners were appointed recently, headed by its chairman, retired Judge of the Court of Appeal, Justice Carl Harrison. And that's how we close out Jamaica House Weekly. Do join us next time for more of the news coming out of the Office of the Prime Minister.